Welcome to Razorcast. It's another week, and back from his travels, Chris.
Hello, I'm back.
He's back.
Guess who's back?
Back again.
Yeah, you'd have to be pretty poor at guessing. There's only two of us, and we're both called Chris, so
Yeah, pretty much.
you've got 100% chance of getting it right as long as you say Chris
Exactly.
and not like Jeremy.
Because that sounds exactly like Chris.
Jeremy, Chris. Yeah,
Yeah.
Chris Jericho.
Yeah, they're all out there.
Yeah, it's loads of them.
But, as always, you know, we're here. We're going to do our fresh cuts.
Yeah,
I had to
unused.
think about that. I don't know why. Fresh cuts, and then on to the albums that we've got this week.
Yeah.
And in this week, we do have 4 albums because we're doing the last 2 weeks because obviously Chris wasn't here.
Because I was so selfish and
Yeah,
decided
he'd
to go
taken
away.
a fucking holiday
What an ass.
whilst I FaceTimed you in a vodka museum.
In a vodka museum, it was very good.
I can
It's
imagine.
very good. There are a lot of museums, a lot.
So yes, Iron Reagan, A Triune, and then for this week it's Soulfly and Greater Van Fleet.
Yes.
So yeah, and then on Horns Up this week we have the last album from Rammstein
Yeah.
with I can never pronounce it.
Liebe ist für alle da.
That's the one.
There you go.
My German is poor,
Mm.
but when you stick Rammstein on, everybody thinks they can talk German
Yeah,
anyway.
you can.
So
100%.
yeah.
I mean, I can say, "Here comes the sun" perfectly when I'm listening to Sonna.
I think we all can.
Yeah, and mother. I can say the word mother
Mother.
over and over again in a weird, creepy German
Or pussy.
accent. Yes, all that. We'll get to that.
Yeah. So
All right. Cool.
Anyway.
So we'll start with fresh cuts, do we?
yeah. Do you want to start, sir?
Yeah. There is obviously one of the things I thought we would chat about in the news that I was sort of thinking we'll leave for last was festival announcements and
Oh
lineups and
no,
stuff.
let's do this now.
Do it now.
Yeah, let's do this now because
Yeah.
I've been so excited with this because it's been a debate of mine for like the last week on what festival I want to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Purely because some bands have been announced in places that haven't been in others.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it's interesting. I mean, obviously you're a download man. You will be going back to download, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, last year was wonderful. But I was like, first year at Download, and I thought, is it just wonderful because I got to see Guns N' Roses, my favourite band.
Do you know what this is like me? I mean, with Grasspop, it was my first year in Grasspop.
Yeah.
You know, it was wonderful seeing the likes of Maiden in Europe because it was just like a massive sort of nostalgia fest in a lot of ways because the Europeans love all their power metal and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, but I wasn't sure. I was waiting for. I saw that. I love Bloodstock. I fucking love Bloodstock. It's a brilliant festival. It's full of brilliant people.
Well, you've been how many times now?
I've been twice now, and
Yeah.
it's amazing. It's such a good crack. But I went last year and this year loved it because the lineup was great and Gojira were there, and anyone who's listened to more than one episode has probably heard me go Gojira.
Yeah.
Plenty of times.
There's plenty of spaff on the wall still.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. But yeah, I looked at the lineup for this year and I was a bit underwhelmed, if I'm honest.
With Bloodstock, yeah.
With Bloodstock, yeah. I don't know whether or not they are trying to maybe save.
Well, maybe they're saving for something big next year. Who knows? Because that festival has each year expanded like wildfire.
Yeah, it has, and it's got that, and that's the weird thing. It sort of almost seems like they've got to a point now where I was expecting Bloodstock to be trying to pull in bigger and bigger and bigger people, but to go with they've got Friday night they've got Children of Bodom.
Yeah.
Who are main support to Sabaton.
Yes.
And I know Sabaton are a really big thing in Europe, but
I like them. They're a good, fun, jumpy band.
yeah, I mean, I think they're cack, quite frankly. The only thing that it says on the Saturday night at the minute is Cradle of Filth, and I'm assuming that they're not going to be the headliners.
I'd imagine not because
They're not big enough.
No, far from it.
Far from, yeah, and it's been years since they were big enough to headline
Anything.
Bloodstock.
Yeah.
And on the Sunday they've got Queensryche, who get in the bin. got no interest in listening
No.
to Queen's Right. And Scorpions, who are,
Scorpions, yeah.
again, I get it. I get they're a popular band. They're kind of seminal, and
Yeah.
but no thanks.
But the only other ones I think that might actually be on that day is Dee Snider, who I've heard is very good live.
He's great. I saw him the first year I went to Bloodstock. Twisted Sister headlined, and it was one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Like, as a live thing, Twisted Sister are fucking hands down one of the they're probably in the top 5 bands I've ever seen live. They're
brilliant,
fantastic.
Yeah, I know he's got a good way with the crowd, and everybody partakes and everything.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was great fun. But when Download dropped their announcement last week when I was in Poland,
yeah,
I lost my tiny little mind.
Yeah, do you know what? I have an issue with this because I'm still waiting on the last headliner for Grass Pop. They've only announced 2 so far. I'll announce which bands they are in a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the fact that you've got.
Well, what I was gonna do was gonna go through the bill so far.
Okay, we'll do a comparison with you as a Download and me as Grass Pop.
Yeah, cool.
Go for it.
Okay, so Under Oath.
Yeah.
Who are a pretty solid kind of metalcore band. You're not going to set the world on fire. You're not going to, set your trousers alight, but they're pretty decent.
Well, they've announced 48 new bands for the festival.
Wow.
So
Okay.
I won't go through all of them. I'll just go through some of my
Yeah.
favourite ones at the moment. So for me, Equilibrium, who are like a folk metal band. I think they sing in a completely different language.
Finnish or something.
I think it's Finnish or something like that. But no, I'm excited to see that one. Oh, fuck! I missed the one lower down. Power Trip.
Get in there.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good year.
Strangely enough, Download. There's a couple of bands I'm not that fussed about. The Amity Affliction can, well, quite frankly, if one of them accidentally steps on the pyro and sets the whole band on fire,
So be it.
no great loss. Tesla, I don't know. Starset, I don't know. Skindred are the best party band in the world.
Oh yeah, they will top
phenomenal.
any festival.
Yeah, they'll be phenomenal because they always
big
are.
time. A few of the others on mine I've got. So they've announced this is going to be massive in Europe, and I know it will be more so than it would be in England. But Def Leppard, Whitesnake, Leonard Skinner. So very big nostalgia fest there. So that'll be interesting to hear, as well as the likes of Sabaton, Disturbed, Amon Amarth, In Flames.
Amon Amarth I'd like to see, and it's nice because they're at Download.
Oh, brilliant. I'll tell you one, but I don't know if they've been announced for Download, but Trivium.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see that on a festival scale.
I am. And do you know what's really nice is when you look at the Download poster so far, it's really nice to see Trivium, see their logo again.
Same, yeah.
Like, see them clearly in a position where they are going to be playing on a proper stage, not at 2:00 in the afternoon in the bin stage. Like, it looks that they're in
contention with being on a top stage.
Yeah,
I know in the sense of Grass Pop, because the first and second stage are right next to each other.
Yeah.
They will be
sort
on
of concurrently, don't they? But I mean, Download. I'm really hoping for what that says for Trivium is that them and it's got hit them and Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
Just underneath the sort of 6 main bands. I'm thinking that's got to be second stage headliner.
Should be.
Well,
you would hope so anyway.
Yeah.
Because this last tour they've been on has been huge.
Yeah.
And obviously,
they're phenomenal as well. When we saw them at
in Brixton,
they absolutely floored me.
Absolutely,
it's the best I've ever seen them.
I tell you what, for me, it's possibly my favourite gig this year.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah,
really good. That might come up in our awards.
Yeah.
I'll whiz through a couple of quickly. Obviously, Power Trip are at Download. Rob Zombie are there. Whitesnake are there. D'Antwoord.
Which is an odd one.
I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, no, I don't know how I feel. I mean, I've listened to them. I don't mind D'Antwoord, but it's nothing for me to rave home about. But I did have a friend text us saying, let's all go to Download, because D'Antwoord are there, and that was it. I was like, that's your biggest pull?
It's a kind of odd booking, but I think it's quite cool. Like, I like the fact that Andy Coppin does stuff like that.
No, it's been good. I mean, he's pulled out of left wing before, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, they've had Chasing Status and they've had Pendulum and stuff like that.
I think, was it Lethal Bizzle or something like that?
Something like that. But, they've pulled in these acts before and they go down really well, Download.
And rightly so.
I mean, Die Antwoord are one of the biggest and best at what they do, which is weird, like real weird. It's going to be brilliant because it's going to be one of those times where you get to look around the crowd and half the people are going to be losing their shit and half the people are going to be going, what is going? The fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And I love that. That was like that Trivium gig when Code Orange came out.
Oh yeah, everyone
half
was
the people
just
were
like
losing their
scared.
minds and half the people were looked like they wanted to barricade themselves in the toilets because they were shitting themselves.
Oh, and it was. But yeah, so going from that, let's go on to the headliners because you have all three of your announced.
Mm-hmm.
I've only got 2 announced so far. The biggest shock for me,
Cough.
Yeah. How not to sober up, hey?
Still got 1 day holiday left.
So for me, going back to this, on the Friday night at Grass Pop, headlining the whole festival within Temptation.
Yeah, that's weird.
I'm going to see them in about 3 weeks in Southampton Guildhall. How are they? Yeah, how are they going to be playing in an arena, like a fucking festival, and headline it? I didn't think they were big enough for that, especially in Europe.
I didn't think they were big enough for that. I mean, Europe makes more sense than here. You've only got to look at who was it who headlined bloody Bloodstock? Nightwish.
Oh, Nightwish, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Nightwish are bigger, aren't they? Nightwish are a huge band. But even that seemed odd to me at first, because I was like, a Nightwish, a festival headliner?
Yeah.
But Grass Pop and stuff like that, in Europe, yes, 100% they are. They are bona fide headliners.
Yeah.
But within Temptation is a weird one. Like, I know Europe do, they do lean towards their power metal and their like folk metal and their kind of operatic kind of stuff, don't they?
Yeah.
But still odd, if I'm honest.
So we've got our Saturday night headliner, which is a joint one for us, because it's Slipknot. Because they're at Download as well.
Yeah. So the Friday headliner for Download is Def Leppard. So Def Leppard will be good. Like.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. If they are clashing with Trivium, sorry, Def Leppard, but I'm going to go and see a better band. But I mean that's cool. Slipknot. I'm excited to see Slipknot. I'm always excited to see Slipknot
because it's been a while since they've been on a festival tour, and plus with new music coming out.
That's the thing that excites me most is the new music part. The idea of seeing Slipknot nowadays isn't quite the same as it was years ago. It's not like as... I mean, Slipknot used to be unfathomably dangerous. Like were
it was just pure teen angst, wasn't it?
Oh, it was just terror. It was just like a horror movie. It was terrifying. I mean, I remember like hearing God knows how many stories of people with jaws broken in Slipknot pits and stuff like that. But yeah, they're a great booking. Corey Taylor is one of the best frontmen on the planet, and he will have Download in the palm of his hand.
Oh, easily. As soon as they take the first step on stage.
Yeah. Oh, the one thing I did notice, 2019, okay?
Yeah.
20 years since the release of their debut. Imagine if they turned up at Download and did Slipknot by Slipknot in full.
Wow. That would be incredible. Yeah, right. Excited.
I would be excited.
So I don't have a Sunday headliner, but you do.
Fucking you're right, I do.
Oh, and do you know what? And if it's not announced at mine, I will be getting a ticket for the day for Download.
Have to. Yeah. So the Sunday headliner for Download for anybody
who's been living under a rock
is Tool.
I can't wait.
One of the best bands in the world ever. They are freaking brilliant.
God. And like I say, we're still holding out for our third headliner. I'm hoping it's going to be announced.
You're hoping it's Tool,
Monday.
aren't you?
I'm hoping it's Tool.
Yeah, it's not.
Massively.
I don't want it to be, just so I can go, ha ha.
And do you know what? I don't think it will be, and I think we have a weird feeling we know who it could be.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people are speculating it's going to be Rammstein. due to the new music, and they announced
Yeah.
that they were going to be on the festival scene, although they haven't been announced in any festival in Europe so far.
This is the weird thing. Now, when that's what I loved about this download announcement was, I could have, to be honest, if you'd asked me, I mean, I think we did talk about it. To be fair, way back when, if you'd asked me way back when we started the podcast, who were going to be the download headliners next year, 2019, I'd have said Slipknot will be there. Because they haven't, and it'll be Rammstein. I said Slipknot will be there, Rammstein will be there, and it'll probably be, I don't know, your other classic metal band, whoever the hell it is. But I was hell bent. I was hell bent. Rammstein. New music, but Tool, for them to say, just casually, oh yeah, it's Tool.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Yeah.
Fucking Tool. They haven't toured here since 2006, 2007.
Like yeah.
Like, they haven't even stepped foot in the bloody country for 10 years.
No.
The
only thing they've done over here is a perfect circle.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. But imagine, that surely means that there's new music from Tool as well. There has to be a new album. Yeah. Otherwise, what are they doing?
Well, there is new music. Tom Morello told us.
Yeah. Loads of people have told us. I can't remember who it was said that they've heard the whole album.
Tom Morello.
Was it?
Yeah, it was Tom Morello. He said he's heard the whole album. They just need to put the vocals down, and that was it.
Right. I can't wait.
No, I can't.
I'm
so excited.
I screeched like a schoolgirl.
Yeah.
When me and Decca were sat we just got back from somewhere, and I went on my phone. I was quite drunk. In our little apartment, and I screeched. I was like, "Oh my god!" What? What's the problem? I was like, "Fucking Tool! Tool are announced!" And you have no idea how much Tool I listened to last week.
Do you know what? I'm the same. Yeah. I'm the same all week. Wait. And I'm so gutted that it's not being announced at the moment. Mm. And my theory is Grasshopper making us feel like tools. Get it? That's. There's method to the madness.
There's method in the Magners.
Right.
Yeah, superb news anyway. But
shall we go on to some other news
yes,
quickly?
Mate.
I've got a couple of others.
Yeah, I have.
So just quickly, Matt Heffy.
Yeah.
Just pulled out of the North American tour.
He has, yeah.
Due to his wife being...
His wife's heavily pregnant
at the moment.
With twins.
Yes, so he had to rush home as quick as possible. He has said that it's mad to think that they're about to embark on their biggest possible US tour ever.
Yeah.
And he's had to run home.
Yeah, I know. It's it must be, don't get me wrong. Obviously his family takes precedent over everything. Time. And he's having twins, so he's like, they're my children like that.
Yeah, I've got to be there.
Yeah, but there's got to be some small part of you that's like, fuck's sake.
Yeah, there always is.
Because Trivium have been on a bit of a roller coaster over the last few years. We've talked about them a few times, and there was that point where after Ascendancy, everyone was like, "Oh my god, they're going to get huge. They're going to be the biggest band on the planet." And then they slipped up, and then they had to build that head of steam again, and they got to Shogun, and then In Waves, and people were like, "This is it. This is the time that they're going to go
start big."
Astronomically big.
And then they
slipped up,
again.
and then slipped again. And it was like, oh God, no, come on, guys.
And then everybody dreaded the new album coming out.
Yeah.
And then that was just a fucking success.
And then Sin and Sentence came out, and it was like, wow.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so obviously they've got fill-ins though for the tour. They've got Howard Jones is stepping in, which will be interesting.
Howard Jones from Killswitch fame, and also the singer for used to be Devil You Know, is now Light the Torch. Yeah. YouTuber Jared Dines.
That's it. He's in it as well. And there was one other, I believe.
It was Johannes Eckerstrom, who is the lead singer from Avatar.
Now that would be fucking epic.
Yeah.
No, I was quite surprised with that one.
I mean, all of those would be. I mean, I'm not being horrible to the blokey. No. But I'm not. I wouldn't. If I went and it was Jared Dines singing, I'd be like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, for the whole thing.
Yeah.
But to have Howard Jones.
And Johannes, I'd be like, sweet.
Yeah.
Like that's quality. I still prefer Matt, but
yeah, exactly. Well, he is Trivium.
Yeah. It is. That will be weird actually.
And your brother's friend Paolo.
Yeah, Paolo's the funniest man on the internet. Like anyone on Twitter that doesn't follow Paolo I can't remember how to pronounce his second name, Gregoletto from Trivium, their bass player. If you don't follow him on Twitter, you're wasting Twitter.
Yeah.
He is genius. And it seems like my little brother has started a little craze.
Yeah.
So about 2 years ago, he tweeted him on his birthday and said, "Hello, Trivium. Hello, Paolo. I'm a massive Trivium fan. It's my birthday. Can you call me a cunt?" So Paolo tweeted him back and said, "Happy birthday, cunt." And now people do it like almost daily. Well, people will tweet him and go, "Can you call me a cunt? Can you call me a cunt? It's my birthday." And he does like once a month or whatever. He'll just go, "Right, you've got 15 minutes. I'll call you all a cunt if you want." Yeah. And like,
that's all thanks to your brother.
It's all thanks to my brother. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
News for you, sir?
Yeah, mate. Lamb of God.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Lamb of God's drummer Chris Adler has said that they are expecting to be finished with their new album and have it released by, still a bit of a wait, but by Christmas next year. So
okay, still a bit of a wait.
We've got about a year to go, but it is good news that they are back in the studio and they're back making music.
Do you know what? I've also got news about Chris Adler because he's also about to embark on helping Megadeth make a new track. And he's, to all the people he's gone to Lars to ask for advice on how to work with Dave.
Yeah.
And apparently, according to Lars,
kick him out of the band?
No.
Well, is that what Lars says? Boot him out of the band and give him like an absolute complex that never leaves him. So he just fucking whines on about not being in Metallica for the next 35 years. Oh my god, I can't believe you kicked me out, my little Danish buddy.
Amazing.
Poodle-headed twat. I don't like Megadeth. I don't like Dave Mustaine. I don't care.
But apparently Lars has said working with Dave Mustaine's like working with an absolute pussycat.
What? Don't.
Apparently he's a really nice guy and he'll do whatever. Yeah, don't put your finger in his butt.
Don't put your finger in his butt and it won't scratch you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anything else you can do is fine. It's cat safety rules.
Cat safety rules.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm way more interested in the idea of a new Lamb of God than I am new Megadeth music.
Yeah. Another one. Ice-T from Body Count.
Motherfucking Ice-T.
Motherfucking Ice-T.
Yeah.
Well, he's been arrested.
Oh dear.
Nothing gangster or anything. He's just been evading bridge toll.
Oh, weirdly enough, I saw this and I was like, is he a troll?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. No, I'm not going to pay you for going over this bridge.
It's
the most gangster thing ever.
It's the weirdest thing to be like gangster about, isn't it?
Yeah, well, big time.
Like, you know, he's released sort of songs like Cop Killer and stuff like that, yeah. And then he just goes, "Man, I'm not paying you to fucking bridge toll." No. It'd be like going over the Itchen Bridge, the Itchen Toll Bridge every day, and just being like,
"No,
nah, fuck off, mate. It's not happening."
Anything else from you?
Oh yeah. Clutch.
Oh, Clutch.
So yeah, Clutch.
You touched a heartstring there.
Well, Clutch about to cancel their New York show.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
So on stage in Syracuse, I think it was, just outside New York. Neil Fallon basically passed out. Just collapsed on stage, passed out.
Fucking hell. Yeah,
so they were a bit concerned. Obviously, they stopped that show and
taking him from scans, I'm guessing, and stuff.
Yeah, well, weirdly enough, he said that he didn't really know what was going on. So the next day he was going out for a walk, and he said the next thing he knew, he's literally walking down the pavement through one of the parks, and he said, I felt a little bit dizzy and a little bit sick, and then the next thing I remember is me being woken up by 2 police officers and a paramedic, and I'm on my back in the park, so passed out again. Weird, but he's had MRI scans and he's had CAT scans and they've all come back normal, so it's not like they haven't found anything massively concerning. They gave him some diagnosis and he said that, he said online, it basically, as far as he could tell, it's medical jargon for, we're not really sure why you passed out.
Fucking hell, though.
Yeah, it's bad,
that's
isn't it?
Bad. Yeah.
Worrying, but,
Wow, keep your spirits up, Neil. I don't want to end on this, but it's kind of the one I've left to last because I don't want to talk about it much. But guitarist from Manowar, Carl Logan. Yeah, just quickly, he's been arrested for having possession of child pornography. So, at the moment, I think, I feel sorry for the rest of the band because obviously Manowar's now going to be essentially hated.
It's a little bit like the Lost Prophets situation.
Yeah, so Ian Watkins. It's music that people have grown up with and loved. Unfortunately, it's going to be slandered now because of this.
Yeah, it's just fucking disgusting.
It is.
And vile and
just fucking hope he dies in prison.
Gets burnt in a bin.
Yeah, essentially it. So
yeah,
I didn't want to end on it, but yeah.
But you have.
I have.
So you've brought us all down. So
can you pick us up?
No.
No. Okay. Let's talk about some albums.
Let's talk about some music before I get too sad.
Yeah, let's talk about things we've been listening to.
Let's. What do you want to start with?
I'll let you pick, sir.
Do you know what? Okay, I'm going to start with Atreyu's new album.
Good stuff.
In Our Wake.
In Our Wake. I'll tell you what. I'm going to start by saying, Bullet for My Valentine, get on to listening to these guys because these guys know how to do contemporary and do it well. I honestly think, compared to what Bullet for My Valentines are doing for trying to keep up with the times, fucking waste of time. But Atreyu, I thought, I don't know, you seem to be a bit,
I'm going to surprise you. I really liked this.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
brilliant.
I did. Yeah, I genuinely, like, my brother listened to it the other day and he was like, and I said to him, I was like, I've got to review it for the pod, so what am I getting myself in for? And he was like, you're not going to like it. And I was like, is it that bad? And he was like, no, it's not. He said, if you're an Atreyu fan, you'll love it. He said, because it's very Atreyu. He said, if you're not an Atreyu fan, which you're not massively, then you probably won't enjoy it. And I was like, oh, for piss sake.
Yeah.
Like, so I pressed play on it thinking, this is going to be a freaking slog. It's going to be a 45-minute slog where I'm just going to peel my eyes out. But I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think it's genuinely pretty decent.
I do. I think, especially for a band that haven't been doing anything for the last few years.
Yeah.
They've been very quiet, and to release this and, try and keep up with the times.
Yeah, the thing
I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, I think it genuinely is good. It's got so those of you who don't know Atreyu, they're reasonably difficult to pinpoint, I suppose, what they are.
It's a difficult
because they grew out of the same scene, if you like, as the likes of Avenged Sevenfold and Trivium and that sort of stuff. They were more of a kind of...
They were an early 2000s band, weren't they?
Yeah, like a screamo metalcore band.
Yeah.
So there was, lots of screamed vocals, lots of guitar solos and guitar...
It's a very sort of... At the time, it was a massive thing for the teen sort of era. For those that are like in their late 20s, mid 20s now, would have grown up with these.
Yeah, 100%. I listened to the very first album. I can't remember what it's bloody called now, but I listened to one or two songs on it, and I was like, yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah,
I wasn't really into metal at the time, but I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean,
But they've changed a fair bit, and
they have, and I tell you what, they've done it for the better. Yeah,
well, there are. Stuff that I can hear on this, there's big dollops. Like there's still that metalcore thing. So if you don't like metalcore, you are not going to like this. If you don't like that kind of screeched vocal and then melodic vocal, then you're not going to like this. But they've definitely taken a left step to less heavy terrains. This is not a heavy album.
It's not heavy, but there are still elements of like the hardcore sort of, elements to it. It's very much, as I say, it's contemporary. It is very contemporary.
Do you know who it reminded me of most? Like I threw it thematically, not necessarily in how it sounds exactly track to track, but it reminds me a little bit more of what Papa Roach have done.
Yes.
Papa Roach have gone from being a very generic but very good new metal band.
Yeah, they were a band.
And they've moved into a big rock band. And Atreyu have done that step. They've done that kind of where we were this kind of mediocre kind of
Metalcore band.
Slightly better than mediocre, if you like. Metalcore band doing a thing that had been done to death. Now they've stepped into this almost like Van Halen kind of.
Yeah, to a degree.
There's a lot of Van Halen worship.
It's very
on
sort
this.
of like sweepy, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's the best way of putting it.
Sweepy is a great term for it. There's so much guitar. I don't want to say wizardry because it's too complimentary. But there's so much.
It's a technical album, very technically sort of gifted in the way of the sweeps, the hooks, and everything else. But
the only thing I will say is, I do think it starts a little bit slowly.
Yeah,
the first
two tracks, so it's very slow.
They're a little bit too vanilla.
But as soon as you get to I think it's the fourth track, is when it starts sort of picking up and it starts getting heavier, and and that's where the hooks and everything start flowing.
Yeah, I think The Time Is Now is a good one. I mean, I really like Blind, Deaf and Dumb, I think it is.
Blind, Deaf and Dumb's a brilliant song.
Yeah. Do you know what? I actually really like the fact that they do the heavier stuff. Like, Blind, Deaf and Dumb is a much more metallic... it's much more metallic.
Yes.
The guitars are a bit more like razor blades, like they're a bit more sort of the playing's all a little bit more ferocious, the singing's gruffer, everything just seems a little bit more pumped. Excuse me. But they also do the more melodic stuff quite well as well.
Yeah.
I mean, there's stuff like Paper Castle.
Paper Castle, yeah.
Paper Castle I really like.
That's more of a... If you still like your old sort of Atreyu, that's a bit more of a lean back to that.
Yeah, absolutely. The only song on this that I listened to and I was like, oh, fucking, just throw yourself in a river, was the last song on it.
Oh, yeah.
Superhero.
Yeah.
It is cheese on toast.
Very much.
It really let me down, to be honest. I listened to the whole album and I thought, do you know what? I'm pleasantly surprised.
To end on something like that is, that last song I always feel is going to be the song that leaves the taste in the mouth.
Unfortunately, that's kind of the way it is. Like you do take that away from it. It hasn't spoiled the album for me, but it very nearly did.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that is shite. That is real shite. Yeah. Funny enough about Atreyu, did you hear that their screams, because they've got two vocalists.
Yeah.
One of the one who does the clean vocals is obviously the guy who plays the drums, who sings and drums, and then there's Alex, who is the screamy vocal guy, who on this album I was like, he's got nothing to do.
No.
Like the first 3 or 4 tracks, he pipes up for like one scream.
He'll probably be there.
I was like, I can't wait to see this live, because he's just going to be stood at the front.
He'll just be the hype man. That's what he'll be.
He'll just be stood at the front going, he's putting his thumb up to people, nodding his head a little bit, and then going, yeah!
Well, I mean, have you been to see like the likes of Pendulum, before?
No, I haven't seen.
Pendulum have an MC who...
Bit like the Prodigy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you got...
So, they don't do much, but they're just there to hype the crowd, and that's it.
But then they're amazing, aren't they, the Prodigy? Yeah. So I don't know about you, but overall I thought this was a perfectly decent album for people. And do you know what? I was in the car with my mate Ben, and he was driving, and he is not a massive rock fan. I mean, I think if you pinned Ben down, he'd probably admit to liking Nickelback. I don't even think you'd have to push him. I think he's probably got a Nickelback album in the car. I think he told me that proudly once. I was like, oh, for God's sake, Ben. But we were listening to it, and he was like, I quite like this.
Yeah.
And that, to me, I was like, that's actually, it's quite a compliment that somebody with Ben's musical tastes enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And also somebody with my musical tastes, because the whole way through he was going, this is nowhere near heavy enough for you, is it? Like, you must hate this. And I was like, no, I'm actually having a good time listening to this. It's not, doesn't make me want to pull my ears off.
I was just about to say, yeah.
But so that's Atreyu in our wake. Yeah, it's pretty decent.
Before we go on to the next one, I just want a quick shout out to my friend Charisse, because we discovered something beautiful the other day. So she was listening to some disco music.
You gotta love some disco.
Yeah, but we ended up finding disco metal. Now, that, honestly, is one of my favourite things I've found in a long time. You know what I'm like for gimmick metal. I love the gimmick stuff. And to find... Yeah. Yeah, surprisingly. But to find something like this, disco metal, is...
I saw the post, you put a picture up or something, didn't you? Or did you send me a photo? One of the two. But I saw it and I was like, disco metal, what the hell are they listening to?
Yeah, pretty much it. So, yeah, it was amazing.
What was it?
I can't remember the name of the band. But just type in disco metal and you'll find John Travolta strutting stuff to some metal disco.
Lush.
Yeah. But anyway, on to the next album.
Yeah.
Let's also go with the thing came out 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Reagan.
Mm.
Now, the best way I can describe this is like my sex life. Short, sweet, and to the point.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
It's a 5-track EP, but 7 minutes long.
Yeah.
But, fuck, what a 7 minutes it is.
I was just about to say, this is the best thing that I've listened to this week.
Yeah,
I
easily.
love this.
I do.
Absolutely love this. The first listen, the first track, I think it's Authority, I think it's called.
Yeah.
To start with, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this.
Yeah.
Just because that first 30 seconds or something of it just starts so, excuse me, frenetically. It's just schizo and all over the place, and it's like just it's almost like all of the instruments are being played as fast as they can all at once, with no concept of the rest of the band. And I was like, I don't like this. And then that changes and I was like, holy fuck,
this is big time.
It almost seems to me like Iron Reagan have gone, shit that Slayer are splitting up, innit?
Yeah.
Let's make a Slayer EP.
So, yeah, but the thing is, like, compared to their last EP, like, the last thing they released, that was so punky. That was so punky. This is just full-on thrash.
Yeah, this is Slayer.
Yeah,
this is Slayer worship. It is like... It is chainsaw guitars.
Yeah.
And they are... The guitar tones on this are blistering.
Let me just break this down, because... This is essentially a supergroup.
Yeah, it is.
This is a supergroup. So it consists of Municipal Waste vocalist Tony Froste, not Cannibal Corpse, but Cannabis Corpse.
Yeah.
And Municipal Waste bassist Phil Hall.
Yeah.
Who else is in there? Former ANS guitarist Mark Brosino, and former Darkest Hour drummer Ryan Parrish.
I like Darkest Hour. Yeah, they're a great band. And
Hellbearer bassist Rob Scotus. Rob Scotus, yes. But yes, as I say,
this started as like a pet project, didn't it? This was just them. And the thing is, and you listen to this, and it is called Dark Days Ahead.
Yeah.
And a lot of the song titles and the lyrics are clearly very political.
Oh, very.
I mean, the tracks
this is like if you put this and FIFA 333 together on a gig, then
you'd be really pissed.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
you take everything about.
Yeah, I mean the track titles are Authority, Dark Days Ahead, Patronizer, The Devastation, and Watch You Die.
Yeah.
Like, and when you listen to the album, you can this is basically them going,
"Fuck you."
Fucking Trump's a dickhead.
Yeah.
Like, it is very much.
Even off the back of the band name itself, called Iron Reagan.
Yeah, it is.
The hate for Ronald Reagan.
The weird thing is, a lot of political kind of, very politically driven music sometimes has the tendency to be a little bit wanky.
Well, this is what we said
a little bit like.
But this is what we said last time. I mean, we talked about this before with the FIFA 333.
Yeah.
And saying how political songs can be very wish-washy and.
Yeah, they just sometimes they sound a bit preachy and a bit like.
Yeah.
And it turns you off, and you just go, I don't.
Yeah.
This sounds fucking fun.
No, again, it's on the level of, as I keep saying, the FIFA 333. This is on that level, is the fact that, yes, it's political, but is it a fucking amazing album?
Yeah.
Well,
to be,
in this case.
And I mean, the tone is very, very different. Like, the FIFA 333, they're, like, very clearly and very on the nose political. It's very hard-hitting political. This is kind of piss-taking.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds... It's not piss-taking in the sense that they're going... Like, it's not a spitting image. They're not putting on silly masks and going, Donald Trump's a knob. It's got venom behind it, but they still sound like they are having a piss up. Yeah. Like, this sounds like...
This is just a very fun album in my eyes.
Yeah, it's one of those... soundtrack to a heavy metal piss up.
It is.
Like, it's like a anti-Donald Trump rally that's got overly boozy, and now everyone is just smashing each other in the face with bins.
Yeah,
Like
that's it.
It's something sensible that's got out of hand because somebody's been spiking everyone's coffee with whiskey. Everyone's fucking levered, and they're all just trying to batter each other.
It's the best. That's honestly the best analogy for this. Because it's just so fun.
Yeah, it is great. I love the guitar tones on it. It's fucking just. It is razor blade sharp guitar in there. Like you can hear every note and every. Just every change of the chord, every note. You can even hear on some of the tracks. I think it's Patronizer. Like I love the fact that you can hear the scrapes of the
from the bass and stuff.
Yeah, you can hear the pick scraping across the strings.
It's something raw. That it's a raw album. Like it's very on the level of punk because punk has always been unfiltered. Yeah, essentially, and that's what exactly this is. Yeah, it is unfiltered.
Oh, 100%, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's Iron Radio.
Yeah, this is 100% the best thing I've listened to this week.
Yeah, 100%.
I love the fact that it's in and out as well. It is literally over before you've begun. You're like, oh, where did that go? Play that again.
I'll tell you what, this probably for me, this week isn't my favourite thing. Over the, but we'll talk about one other album before I talk about that one. Should we go to Great Van Fleet?
Yeah.
Let's go to that. Let's tone it down. And go Greater Van Fleet.
Yeah, Greater Van Fleet. A bit more relaxed.
Best way I can describe this.
Just put your flares on, everyone.
Yeah, flares on.
So, just for those people who don't know who Greater Van Fleet are or what they do, oh, crikey.
Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
they are Led Zeppelin. Yeah. That's exactly it.
They are incredibly good at what they do.
Oh, I'm not going to, put them down for just being, a Led Zeppelin piss off, piss take band.
They are incredibly good at what they do. They are very young as well.
Extremely.
And
I think they're 19.
Yeah, something like that. And they released their last EP, Into the Fires, I think it's called. Was stunning. Really good.
If you're into this sort of Led Zeppelin bluesy,
that's the 100% be up your street.
Yeah.
Stuff like Highway Tune is just fucking ginormous. And not only that, they've got massive radio play.
Yeah. They're on everywhere. I mean, even I think US radio is everywhere.
Yeah. But before we actually talk about the album, before we say what we think about it, people clearly like this, or they like this band.
Yeah.
Because they have sold out 2 nights at I think it's the Shepherd's Bush Empire.
Really?
I think so. They've sold out back-to-back nights.
Wow.
That's like 4,500 tickets.
That's incredible.
That's before this was even released. The tickets sold out.
Wow.
Yeah. So for a band who have got an EP at the time,
2 EPs, I think.
An EP and like a couple of tracks.
Yeah.
Like they've got about 7 songs before this album.
Yeah.
They managed to sell 4,500 tickets in the UK.
Yeah, with back to back. Oh fucking hell!
Imagine after this album. Imagine the end of this album going into the next album. Where the fuck are they going to be playing?
Well, I'll tell you, I know where I'll be. Staying at home. I mean...
Should we talk about the album?
Let's talk about the album, because...
People clearly like it.
They all clearly like it. I mean, for what it is...
Yeah.
Technically and musically, it's a brilliant album. But for me, I'm not digging it. Yeah. Because I've heard it all before with Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd and all that jazz. So for me, it's nothing new. But, if it's for people who want to hear those sort of bands, but it's a modern day, go for it.
Yeah. The thing is, I mean, we do this podcast because we both love listening to new music and finding new bands. Yeah. Like, really. Like, it's not... I mean, I know we talk about big acts and we talk about, this is their second album, this is 14th album, whatever it is. We appreciate those things. We've grown up on them. Yeah, but the idea is that we want to find new bands and new music.
And this is what I done last week with 3 bands that we had nobody's ever heard of.
Yeah.
Unless you are from Greece, Italy or Nebraska.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't necessarily think that all music has to sound brand new. If that makes sense.
No, I know what you're saying.
I want to find new music and I want to find new bands.
And there's a perfect example of that on this next album. Because
Yeah,
we'll talk about it in a minute.
yeah.
But
I don't want to give this album a kick in because I
I'm
don't
not
think
gonna,
it. I don't think it deserves a kick in.
I'm not giving it a kick in.
I'm just gutted that I'm not more excited about it.
Same.
Because after listening to
the
EP and seeing them at Download,
yeah,
I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, these guys could be the next massive, like,
Australian
rock band.
airport.
These guys could be the next fucking, like, AC/DC or Foo Fighters.
Oh no,
or,
with 100%, they would tap into that classic rock and they will bring that back to life.
Yeah, and I really hope they do. I really hope that this doesn't stunt their development and their growth a bit.
No, and I don't think it does. And I think this band, know what they're doing.
Yeah, because but I worry that it will slightly just because it's not as good as I was hoping for, and I don't know if that's the hype machine.
I think the hype was the EP. The hype was the EP. Now you've got an album, and then you go, well, this is all I'm going to be getting from them.
This is the thing. I don't get me wrong. I like what they do. Like, I enjoy listening to them. And, I think I was hoping for. Do you know what my problem with this album is? It's not actually the. It is the music, obviously. It's fucking numpty. I was going to say it's not actually the music. What is it then, dickhead? It's the way that it looks on Spotify. I don't like it.
I don't like the way they've arranged those stars on the album cover.
Yeah. It doesn't go anywhere.
It
That's
doesn't.
my problem
That's
with
it.
it. It doesn't go
not.
anywhere. It like the first song, "Age of Man." I really like it.
Yeah.
I think it's a great song, but no, I think it's a good song. It could be a great song. That's what annoys me. There's so many tracks on this that I listen to and I go, that could be so fucking good.
Yeah.
And it doesn't go anywhere.
Structurally, it's all wrong.
Age of Man is particularly. I felt like I was
floating.
No, I felt like I was building all the time.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, this is going to go somewhere in a minute. This is going to have this huge crescendo and this massive vocal line and it's going to be soaring and it's going to be like
everywhere.
I thought this is going to be fucking Freebird.
Yeah,
like, this is going to in a minute. This is going to go bang into this huge explosion of fucking rock music.
Yeah,
and it doesn't. It just
dies
loops, and I was like, what was the point?
Yeah, and then you're on to the next track, and it keeps doing the same.
And it does, and it's a little bit like
I think
a little bit like getting on a roller coaster and going, "Oh, this is going to be epic." I've been on Stealth. This is fucking going to be this is going to be amazing.
The best roller coaster.
But unfortunately, you've gone to Peppa Pig World, and you've jumped on the roller coaster expecting it to be Stealth, and actually, what you're doing is just pottering along.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, it's nice still. I like motion.
Yeah.
I like moving.
I like to move, but that's about it.
Yeah, but
and I think it's one of those things where when you go and see this live, you will be just sort of swaying. There's no sort of jumping about to it.
No, it's much more chin strokey.
Yeah.
It's much more kind of. I mean, I don't actually do it, but I can imagine this being the perfect album to just sit in the corner and smoke drugs to. Like, just sit there and
possibly
go off into your own little world. I mean,
I'm not saying do so unless you're in Canada, but yeah.
No, I definitely wouldn't. I mean, cough medicine's cheap enough.
There you go then. But on that, I mean, it's not for me.
Yeah, it's good, but it's not great. I wanted it to be great because that's what I was expecting, because this is a potentially world-beating, world-dominating band.
Big time.
I really hope this doesn't slip them up, and I'm almost hoping that live that there'd be more energy.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
Because I don't know if it's a production thing, maybe that just quashes it a bit, or if it is just that the songs are a little bit duller than the songs that they've written before, and that's unfortunately the sense.
I don't know what the production value is on this or what kind of production they had on this, but there's definitely something they need to muster up in this to make it that.
But don't get me wrong, like, if you are a fan of Led Zeppelin, like particularly Led Zeppelin, but if you're a fan of classic rock, classic bluesy rock,
take it by the horns,
then grab it, and because this is a really good album, and musician, these guys are unbelievably talented.
Oh,
they
yeah.
are fucking
And I'll tell you what,
phenomenally
even
talented.
off the back of a debut album where I don't feel for this album, I'll be interested to see what the second album's going to be like.
The thing is, I haven't been as pumped for a first album off the back of some EPs.
Yeah.
I don't think there was as much hype and as much buzz around a debut album that I can remember since Creeper.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
You know,
It's only 1 year ago.
Was it? Was that only a year ago?
Yeah,
Feels like I've lived with that album forever. That's the
it
thing,
does.
because I love that album so much. But and the thing is, like, I was listening to those EPs, waiting for that album from Creeper, and I was thinking,
it's going to be massive,
and
it delivered.
And it delivered, and then some. It was
Yeah.
it fucking floored me.
But this,
this has left me a bit cold.
Yeah,
if I'm honest.
But as I say, we'll see how this goes, and I'd be interested to see what the second album produces. And
Yeah, definitely. I'd love
this.
to. I'd love to keep my ear on these guys.
Yeah.
I have listened to it a few times. It's not like I've only gone, I can't be
no,
bothered. No, I've never
Same.
gone back to it. I've been listening to it regularly, and it is enjoyable.
It is
just,
big time.
I mean,
It's
it
just-
probably doesn't help that because of the week that we've had, I've been trying to. Well, I've been listening to a shitload of Tool. So everything sounds shit when you've been listening to loads of Tool. It does. You're just like, that's rubbish. That's not Tool.
Yeah.
That's rubbish. That's not Tool.
Yeah, big time. But yeah, so that's Greta Van Fleet.
You're just not as good as Tool.
Yeah,
That goes to everyone.
pretty much. Even this next one.
Yeah, nothing is. Get in the bin. That should be. I'm never doing a podcast again because that's all I've got to say about everything.
You're not as good as Tool.
You're not as good as Tool. I'm getting those t-shirts printed up now.
The bar is here. Tool level is way up there.
Yeah.
Right, last album of this week.
Yeah.
Is Soulfly, and I've been excited for this one because I didn't realize we're releasing a new album.
Didn't you not?
No. So Soulfly, I've been following these for ages with their new album Ritual, and fuck me, this has been my favourite thing of the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I know you were really digging this.
Oh man, I've been all over this because this album is just hit every kind of buzz that Soulfly have been known for. But to even have the balls on this album to experiment still, these guys,
Okay.
Yeah.
No, carry on.
No, okay. I mean, with tracks on here like Dead Behind the Eyes and The Summoning, Ritual, they're all classic sort of Soulfly sort of songs. But then to go down to the end of this album and go to the songs like Bite the Bullet, which is a tech metal kind of sounding sort of album, song, sorry. And I thought, fair play to them.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I agree that yes, there is some experimentation on this, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think when I did think that, no, I sound really negative today. I want to stop being such
Stop listening to Tool.
Oh no, you're not as good as Tool. It's not as good as Tool. That's it. I'm going home. I am home. What am I talking about?
We are in your house.
I really like this album, to be honest. This is really fucking good. It starts super strong as well.
Oh, it does.
Ritual and...
Do you know what Ritual reminds me of? Roots Bloody Roots.
Right, bang on. Do you know what? This album is so... obviously,
it is
so anyone that doesn't know Soulfly, it's the band that Max Cavalera from Sepultura started after he left Sepultura. They've got tons and tons of albums.
Yeah.
Some of them are fantastic. Some of them are pretty ropey.
Oh, big time.
And this is a big return to form. This is up there for me in the Soulfly catalogue.
This is my favourite album, possibly since Omen or Conquer, which was 2010, 2008. So I mean, they have released the stuff like Enslaved, which was their heaviest album to date. Savages, Archangle.
I did not like Savages.
No,
I thought it was poo.
I didn't.
I thought that was poo. Archangel was okay. It was bitty. It was just bitty.
Yeah.
This is a solid album. Though.
Oh, big time.
Do you know what impresses me about this album?
Go on.
Is the fact that, for one thing, Max Cavalera can shit riffs.
Oh, he can.
Like, the man can pull a beastie metal riff out of his ass.
Just counting, this is their 11th album.
It's mental. That is mental that on your 11th album you are still... how the fuck is he still finding stuff to write about?
Well, this is it. And this is a band that people like Alien Weaponry, I would imagine.
Yeah,
Heavily
influenced. Yeah, massively influenced. Do you know what? What you saying about the tech metal and stuff? What does impress me about this album is you get the typical Soulfly thing. So you get that kind of that Sepultura vibe. So you get the sort of tribal music in there, and you get like big fucking pounding drums.
Oh,
and
big time.
Like
and they were
real
chants and stuff.
Yeah, and like machine gun riffing, like real.
Big time.
I love how he does that palm muted riffing.
Yeah.
Like it sounds so good. It sounds
savage.
like
it's so savage.
Yeah, it sounds like Leatherface is just
Wailing.
revving his chainsaw, just going, I'm going to take your head off with this in a minute. That's how the riffing is in this. It is just like it's really fucking ominous, and like any minute now I'm going to cut you in half.
Yeah.
Like,
and he does from my ears.
Yeah. This do you know what, like the fact that Max Cavalera still listens, because he clearly listens to new music. He clearly still loves metal.
Well, especially with the fact that he's got his son is I think he's now in Soulfly.
I might be actually. Yeah. Ow.
Igor.
Yeah.
Igor Cavalera.
That's his brother.
Is it his brother?
Yeah, Igor Cavalera's his brother.
Ah, of course.
He used to. Yeah, he's a drummer, isn't he?
Well, no, I think his son is in the band.
I can't remember his name either, but I think you're right. Actually, his son he plays guitar, doesn't he?
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, the fact that he's still experimenting, that he's still bringing in new bits of music is fucking for a bloke that's been doing it as long as he has. Like, when was Beneath the Remains of Sepultura? Like, fucking what were they? 1987, 1988, something like that. Like mental.
Yeah, and I think he left Sepultura in like the late 90s, was it?
Yeah, something like
96, something like that.
The thing is about most musicians as well is they calm down, they get mellower with age.
Yeah.
There are points on this album that are fucking savage.
Oh, so furious.
Death metal brutality. I can't.
And I think what he's tapped in on this is Enslaved has gone with, say, Conquer.
Oh, Under Rapture's the song.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Oh,
Under Rapture is one of the most brutal vocal performances I've heard in any record since probably like fucking Code Orange. It is just it's an abomination.
It is an abomination to everything.
Yeah. But I really like the fact that there's a few guest vocalists as well. I think
there is, yes.
Randy Blythe is on Ritual
and
the opening track, and he does a fucking superb job on that.
Yeah.
Like him and Max together just sounds.
Could you get any two pairing
perfect,
that you want? Yeah. I mean,
it's like Christmas. When I heard his voice, I was like, "Oh, I like this already."
But I think there's two other things that I love about this. Mm-hmm. On a Nostalgia Fest, for one, the song "Feedback." Fuck me, that's like an ode to Motorhead.
Yeah.
It's so Motorhead.
Yeah, he does love a bit of Motorhead. He loves that sort of stuff. I mean, this is fucking great. This album.
It is.
Like if you like, as I said, like chainsaw machine gun metal riffs, like bounce, because that's it's got
all bounce. Yeah.
Huge bounce. It almost like the riff. His riffing is almost like hypnotic.
Yeah.
In a sense, but not relaxing.
No.
It's not like relaxingly into it. It's not like Tool are hypnotic, because some of their riffs and stuff just put you in this lovely trance, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
This is like a really bad trip.
Oh, bad.
This is like
taking acid and ketamine at the same time.
Yeah, and eating. I don't know. But this is like it's the riffing and stuff on it is almost like you are hurtling down a tunnel and you're on some sort of horrendous ride, and you can't get off.
Oh, big time.
And you're just powerless to do anything. You can't scream. You can't jump off. You can't. You're just there for the ride, and you're like, this is.
The only thing that is relaxing of this album is at the end. Now, every album they do their own self-titled song, so they've obviously Soulfly 1 through to 11. So this is Soulfly 11 now.
Mm-hmm.
There's a fucking sexy sax on this.
Yes, there is.
I think it's the year of the saxophone.
100% it is. 100%. We're going to have to do in the awards at the end of the year. We're going to have to do best sax solo.
It's going to have to happen because there's so much sax in metal this day.
100%. We need to listen to The Shining Norway as well.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a shitload of sax in that.
He has a lot of dirty sax in
Yeah.
that.
Me and Chris saw them. My mate Chris Greenfield saw them at Hammerfest years ago on their like first album, and it was so weird. Like this blistering dark, like heavy black metal.
Yeah.
And then this little guy just turns up and goes, "Hi, we're Shining. Do you guys like jazz?" And then starts playing the saxophone. We were like, well, to be fair, mate, nobody actually answered you. And no, we don't like jazz.
But this.
But thanks.
But yeah, no, I mean, like I say, it's in there. But for me, this album is, for Soulfly, this album is quite close to my top 5. If not,
Really?
it is in my top 5, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's how much I love this album.
I did think this was
It's gonna be so tight because I've been looking back through my top 20 albums. Oh man, it's all over the boat at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to think about it yet. It
No.
stresses me out. But yeah, I really like this album.
I do.
It's very good.
So good.
It is very, very good, and it is very impressive that a band can release their 11th album and it's
That'd
this
still
good.
be so on form.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. So on that note, we will leave the new music and head over to Horns Up.
Yeah. So just if you didn't catch the name of it, that's Soulfly's new album, Ritual.
Ritual, yes.
I think it's been out a week, isn't it?
It has. Yeah, it's been out for a week now.
Been out a week. Go listen to it.
Yeah, right, mate. Right. Horns Up. Rammstein with
Rammstein. Liebe ist für alle da.
there we go, which translates quite lovingly to "love is for everyone."
Yes, exactly.
And that is exactly what I got from this album. So much love. Because this is honestly, I think, for the amount of albums this band have done, now they're on, I think, something like 6 albums, is it?
6. This is album number 6.
This is album number 6. And to still, after 6 albums, like, they started in 1995 with, is it
Herzeleid.
Herzeleid.
Yeah.
And to still carry on till 2009 on their 6th album and still feel so rich and so new. This album...
There is nothing that sounds like Rammstein.
No.
Rammstein only sound like Rammstein.
And I can't think of any other... Like, if you think of an industrial, this is the first place you go.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. With guitars, like, if you said industrial electronic, you'd go 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah.
But this is... Yeah, Rammstein are the A game. They're the tip of the ice. You know, not the tip of the iceberg. They're the icing on the cake.
Yeah. And if you go anywhere and they're on the bill,
yeah,
more than happy.
Yeah.
And this is their last album, and since we believe they're releasing their new one in January.
Yeah, apparently soon. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is
it'll be 10 years. It'll be 10 years.
So this last came out. This one came out in 2009, and to be off the clock for 10 years, still touring, and
so yeah, like you say, this came out in 2009. I don't know what I don't know about you, but in 2009 I was like not starting to listen to metal. I've been listening to metal for a little while, but this was the sort of I was just by 2009 I was fully involved. I was like, I want everything. I want every album. And I remember going to the shop and buying this.
I did on its release.
Yeah, I did, and I was so freaking excited.
Yeah.
About the release of this. Partly, probably get it out of the way now because it happened a couple of days before the album was released.
Oh.
Partly because of a certain video. So certain music video that was released.
Yes, they released their first single from this album. I don't know, was it second? It might be the first album single, but
it was the first single.
It was the first single.
100%. It was the first single,
so
which is this is fucking bonkers.
Marketing genius again.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So they released their song "Pussy," And the only way you could access and see this video is if you went onto a porn site.
Yes.
Because the video is just one great big gangbang.
Yeah, it is a porn.
It is a porno.
It's a yeah. Yeah, and I remember watching it going, this is not, like, when it starts you're like, this is obviously going to be silly.
Yeah.
Like, it's Rammstein, so it's going to be
be silly.
It's going to be silly, but it's not going to be an actual pornographic movie or pornographic video. It'll just be like, oh yeah,
yeah,
silly old pickles.
Yeah.
And then you watch it and you're like, no, this is an actual porn.
This is actual
porn. Yeah, it's actually hardcore pornography. What they basically did, for anyone who hasn't seen it, it's fucking the weirdest. It's the most insane music video in the world.
It is.
So what they did is they filmed a porn, basically various porn shoots, scenes, and they superimposed their heads onto the blokes' bodies.
Apart from, is it Ollie?
The keyboardist.
Yeah.
Can't remember his name. But apart from him, who was a woman, wasn't he?
Yes, he was the only woman.
Yeah. Yeah, so that came out like 2 days before the album came out.
Yeah.
And then promptly got banned from about 15 countries or something. People were like...
And yeah, you could only still access it on porn sites.
Yeah. Yeah, but
that was the only way you could do it.
Yeah, but they took it down after like 2 or 3 days. They
really?
took it down. Yeah, they shut it down because, I mean, obviously the porn sites were happy because their traffic went through the roof. But yeah, like various kind of decency police, if you like, or whatever they are in so many countries are like, take it down. We don't want it on the sites because it's encouraging young people to go on porn sites because they want to see what their favourite band are doing.
This is why love is for everyone.
And again, that's one of
this is the big thing with Rammstein. They have been so tongue-in-cheek for everything they've done, whether it be for a political view from like America and stuff like that, to this. You just have to take them with that pinch of salt. Especially when you translate songs in the past from like Mind Tell, which is all about so it's an actual factual story about a guy who wanted to eat some other guy's penis and did so. Yeah.
Yeah, he was cannibal, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. They've got some odd. Their lyrical content and stuff is very odd. Well, it's all very odd. The whole concept and stuff is very odd. But this album in particular, I love the fact that the album is called Liebe, alle, like love is for everyone. You've got a song called Pussy, which is, even lyrically, it's fairly graphic about what it's about. It's literally about sex. There is no qualms, there's no metaphor involved. It's, I have a dick, you have a pussy, so what's the problem? Let's do it quick. Yeah. Like, there's no
beating around the bush.
No, well,
literally.
So she said. But then you've got it's this silly kind of tongue-in-cheek piss take, and then there are some songs on it and that sound really, really horrific, like a full-on horror movie.
Big time.
And even, do you know what? I was fascinated and shocked and scared and all sorts just by looking. People don't do this anymore. This is old people talk now. But we used to buy these things called CDs, and
I still do.
We used to have to go to these places called record shops and buy these CDs, these weird flying discs, but what I used to love about buying a CD is opening it up.
That's what I still do.
And opening it up and then opening the artwork and having a look at it and flicking through the booklet and everything else. And the booklet and the artwork for this album is terrifying.
It is. It's like...
It's a weird, like, human butcher shop.
It is.
Sex,
but it's all done in like such a gothic-y sort of Renaissance sort of style. And as you say, it is terrifying.
Yeah. It looks like Ratatouille has gone horrifically wrong.
Yeah.
Not the food, I mean the film with the little rat in the kitchen. It looks like, the whole thing is like a French chef's kitchen or whatever, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they're the chefs, but what they're doing is chopping people up
Yeah.
and feeding them to other people. It is fucking terrifying.
It's horrific.
It's terrible.
But that's what they're known for.
Yeah, and it's really gory and brilliant, and it is so bloody metal.
Oh,
like,
it is so metal. And again, it comes down to that tongue-in-cheek side of Rammstein, because they're marketing geniuses at the end of the day. I mean, if you bought the special edition of this album, it came in a great big box.
It did, yeah.
And inside that box, you would get a pair of handcuffs, a little packet of lube, and all 6 of their cocks moulded as dildos.
Dildos, yeah.
And and you could buy their dicks.
You could actually buy the whole band's dicks.
Just to say you've had Till Lindemann inside of you.
Yeah. I'm sure many people have.
So, yeah, no, it's so weird. But on the actual album itself, the music, coming back to what they were growing up to what this is, the music was very raw. This is completely polished, completely, they know what they're doing. It serves its purpose.
They definitely sound like a mature band. And a band, it is polished, it is mature, it's but it's still got that. Rammstein have got a very signature sound.
Yeah,
it's that industrial,
symphonic-y sort of
like
metal.
It's almost. It is metal, but it's almost like marching music.
It is.
Everything is dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun 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 dun. It's all like you can almost see people's boots stamping.
Yeah.
And do you know what? I don't know whether or not it's an intentional thing, being from, because they're from East Berlin, aren't they?
That's right. Yes.
So they obviously met and formed the band before the Berlin Wall fell. And I don't know whether it's that thing of being from East Berlin, which is obviously much more kind of strict and harsh because it was under the Soviet rule. But all of their music almost sounds like goose stepping. It almost sounds like that Nazi marching.
You're very much right.
Clump, 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 clump. And I don't know if that's intentional or whether or not that's just a sound that they...
Well, to be fair, you would think with something like that, you would think it was something completely intentional, but...
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be much about Rammstein or this album or anything that they do that is accidental.
No.
Hence the dicks in a box.
Yeah.
It's all very intentional.
Yeah. But again, when you go looking at the songs like Ramload, now they perform that as an opener everywhere they go. And rightly so, because it gives you that sort of introductory sort of feel into who the band are and what you're about to get.
Yeah.
And then you go on to Ich tu dir weh.
Yeah.
Which is iconically possibly one of their biggest songs they perform live.
Yeah.
Every gig they do the same sort of pyro for it. It stands on a giant pole, goes up in the air.
That might change.
That might change, hopefully.
Because they change their... It's another bloody brilliant thing about Rammstein and why everyone should just fucking listen to them and go and see them.
Well, not even listen to them, just go and see them.
Yeah.
Because whenever it's not buying a ticket to see the music, it's a ticket to go and see a stage show.
Oh, it's like the Circus Horrors. It is a complete... I saw them on this album.
Yeah, I did.
I went to see them in Birmingham on this album.
Do you know what? We might have been in the same building.
LG Arena or whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah, I was there.
And they were phenomenally good.
So good. Marching out through the crowd.
Yeah.
At the beginning and then just straight onto the stage.
He cut his way through the back of the stage as he entered, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
It's insanity. Like their stage show is insane.
Oh, that was that tour. Sorry, I'm thinking of the other tour, which is where they came through the crowd.
Oh, is that the later? You went to see the later.
I think that was later, but I did see them on that one as well.
It's amazing. He comes out dressed as a
giant butcher.
He comes out dressed as a butcher.
Feathers on his collar and stuff like that.
And then there's a part where he's singing and he's got like lights in his mouth.
Yeah. Oh,
it's
bizarre.
Incredible. But and that whole aesthetic, like I said, from the artwork of the album, that whole aesthetic, that whole thing was the stage show. The stage show was almost that stuff that you got in the booklet where they're chopping people up, they're murdering people, feeding them to them, and all this. It's in there. It's in the stage show. You see it happen song by song by song. You know, and to the point where like Till Lindemann gets hold of the keyboard player and he throws him in a pot, and he pours loads of like flame type stuff on him, and
it looks like lava, but
it's insane. It's so fucking cool.
I think one of my favourite things is, and they still do it, and it's where they put him into the giant cooking pot and takes the flamethrower.
Yeah,
he flames the underneath of it.
Yeah,
and you see the guy get out and be like, "What you want about?" And then he goes off stage, comes back with this fucking great big, fucking huge flamethrower.
Yeah,
and just
boils him. Yeah, yeah, it is fucking cool.
Yeah, there's so much to this. I mean, just as the band themselves, you know, their albums are only 10% of what their shows are.
Yeah, the music isn't everything about Rammstein. Like the music is an accompaniment. It's almost it's the soundtrack to a movie. It is. And every album's a different movie, and it's all got a different thing. And this one just happened to be about weird, murderous butchers. Yeah. Essentially it. It's brilliant. And the fact that it's called Love Is For Everyone, wonderful.
And to be fair, this band is for everyone.
Fucking right they are. They're a great band.
Yeah. Well. And we'll leave it there.
Yeah, sham on.
And as always, we'll leave it till next week. And if you follow us on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, we'll post up little snippets of what the next album's going to be. Mm-hmm. And also follow us on Spotify, iTunes, Podbean, YouTube. Yeah, the whole lot, the whole kit and caboodle. If you listen to it and you like us, then give us a little 5 stars and give us a little review saying, good looking them two, aren't they? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Alright. And if you don't like us, just tell us we're cunts. Yeah, or just send us a tweet and tell us we're arseholes. But don't leave bad reviews because I'm very egotistical. And we'll leave it there. Right. Peace out, motherfuckers. Cheers.